What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. We're going to try this one more time. Yesterday was, wow, what a day. What a day for a live stream. But I think we've got some things sorted out. So first thing I'll do is let's get rid of this. Don't need that. And then let's see if we can just fade right in here. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. That is what I've been waiting for. All right, so we are in Fort Collins. We are in our Mac Anthem. This is our 70-inch sleeper. This is our biggins. And we're going to head down to Pueblo. We've got part of a wind turbine on the back. Man, the difference is absolutely night and day. Oh, my goodness. I'll tell you about it as we get rolling. I know you don't care about this technical stuff, but I love it. I love all this technology stuff. We got a full bag of gas. We slept. I think we are good to go. And I did go with a smaller trailer. Whoa, what is happening right there? Hang on. As we pull forward, let us look and see what is happening. Rogel, what is going on? How's Sunday treating you? What's going on right there? Is that a bad spawn? Yeah, I was thinking maybe, because this guy over here with the fork truck, I was thinking he was looking at that like, you know what I mean? Something's gone wrong, but I think that could just be a bad spawn. You know what? It happens. It happens. Not a big deal. And this is a new area, so this is going to be a new garage, a new depot. So there'll be some hot fixes, patches. Not a big deal at all. Right. Let's get out on the highway here, and I'll tell you what's going on. I'll tell you what's going on with technology in my world. Carefully. Carefully. And I think the best thing for us to do is kind of go out here almost to the left. Just peek out a little bit. Yeah, we're okay. Kind of head out of here almost to the left and then make our turn to the right. Yep, we're going to clear the gate back there. Surprisingly, not by a whole lot. As wide as we swung that, we still didn't get a ton of clearance on that gate, but we didn't hit anything. Fortunately, there's no traffic on this road right now. Right. So let's get up here. I'll put some windows up. Oh my goodness, where'd that come from? Whoa. Traffic has spawned. All right. Jaden, what's happening? Amazon. Amazing. Amazon. All right. Slide right over here. Oh, and look at this Mustang back here trying to make a move on us. What do you mean? What do I mean? I don't know what I mean. Yesterday we had, I don't know if you caught the stream yesterday. There wasn't much of one, but we had just terrible crashes every time we were going from our prep screen and OBS going to the game was crashing. And it happened in multiple titles. It happened in ATS, ETS, and Cattle and Crops. So I know it wasn't The Sims. And the only other thing it could be is OBS. Now, I know people love OBS. They swear by it. I personally have never been a huge fan, and I've always had problems with it. I really have. So I went ahead and bought XSplit yesterday. And then I went and got a second monitor. I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it very seriously for several weeks. But I went and got a second monitor yesterday. And now, in my main monitor, I've got Truck Sim, ATS. And then in my side monitor, I've got XSplit. I've got my audio monitors, right? I've got everything set up. When I see streamers and the setups that they have, I understand now why they have it set up that way. You see those big, like, missile control setups with multiple monitors and all that stuff. You know, do you need all that? I guess you do. I guess you do, because we've got that now, and it made a big difference when I was getting things set up this morning, and I can really understand why people set up that way. So I can see my audio, I can see my levels, I can see the quality of the stream, I can see GPU utilization, and yeah, I can just see everything now. So I totally get it. Well, I've got two monitors on my tower now. I've got my main monitor, my big monitor. I've got my side monitor with my production stuff next to it. Then on the other side, I've got a laptop, and that's where I'm monitoring the stream. And the reason I set it up that way instead of triple monitors is I'm on two different two different internet connections. So we're pushing out at, let me see if I look over here. We're pushing out at almost 10 meg per second on the quality. And then we're also monitoring the stream in 1080p, and I'm doing that on two different internet connections. So we're not trying to download high def and upload high def at the same time, and we're also not previewing and rendering a video stream as we're trying to render a game and push it out on a stream. So I wanted to have a separate setup for monitoring, for like reviewing or previewing or watching the stream. I wanted to have a separate setup for that, both internet connection and graphics card. So the only thing that's on this graphics card right now is the game itself and the stream, and also the little preview I'm getting in XSplit. It's going to take me a while to get used to saying that. I'm so used to saying OBS. But anyway, you know, everything eventually works itself out, and I think one of the fun things for me about streaming and YouTube and everything else is you just got to figure this stuff out. And you can certainly, you know, go online and find information and things that other people have sorted out, but because everybody's system is so unique, you know, really I think the only way to ever figure out how to do this stuff is just to do it and make a lot of mistakes. And that's what I've been doing. All right, here we go. I-25. Oh, this road. I've spent a lot of time on I-25. We are going to Pueblo, but we're actually going east of Pueblo. So I think this thing is... I'm liking this, the way that SCS is setting up the areas now, where it's not just visually that it looks a certain way, but that there are unique industries and unique things happening. So I guess the wind turbine stuff is going to be a big deal in Colorado. So we're going down to Pueblo, and then I think we might go out onto the prairie to the east of Pueblo. And I'm curious if, in the same way that there are logging areas in the Pacific Northwest, I'm curious if we're going to go out to a great big wind farm out in the middle of nowhere and drop this thing off. And there's also supposed to be a lot of gold mining in Colorado as well. And I think that's going to be, there's mining in ATS. And you drive down, you know, sort of narrow, gravelly roads. You drive down those, more rural areas, more desolate areas to get to those mining areas, and the quarries, of course, in the UK, and I think there's some in Scandinavia. But bottom line is we'll be going to unique areas in the map to drop off these unique cargoes, and I think that is very cool. And we are in our big truck. We're in our big Mack Anthem with the 70-inch sleeper on it. Let's get slowed down here since we're next to John Law. And yeah, that's about it. That's all that I got going on. Man, so I'm the portable gamer, right? When I started doing this, our goal was that we would have, I say we, it's me and my girl and the fam. But the goal was that we would have, I was on a laptop, and because I was traveling so much, the goal would be that we would always be portable, that I would always be portable and I would be able to game from anywhere, right? From a hotel, from Airbnb, from a condo, whatever. And I look at my rig now, and we are opposite. Absolutely the opposite of portable. We are so, permanent at this point. If I had to move this rig, I guess I could pack it up probably in an afternoon, but not portable. No longer portable. Denver. There it is. Denver is another city I lived in when I lived in Colorado. I lived right downtown. I lived on the 16th Street Mall, corner of 16th and Stout, in the old Rio Grande freight warehouse, in a great big hipster loft with like 18-foot ceilings and 15-foot windows. Oh, it was a scene. It was a scene, I tell you. Hey, I just noticed we are... I'm going to have to... I'll take a look at this later, but we are at about 45 FPS right now. And as I look to the side, our graphics card is not maxed out. We're doing okay. But I'm going to have to turn off, when I'm done, obviously, when I'm done with the stream. Not before, but when I'm done with the stream, I will turn off XSplit, naturally. And I'm really curious to see if we pick up FPS. Because one of the things that I have heard about XSplit compared to OBS is it is a bit of a resource hog. OBS, flawed as it may be, has really no impact on frame rate. It's really good in that way. Now, the downside for me is it never worked that well, but it had no impact on my frame rate as it was not working well. That thing right there to the right, that is Mile High Stadium. That there was a controversy. It's Mile High Stadium, but it also got sponsored, right? Like every American football stadium is sponsored now. So it ended up being like Wells Fargo Field at Mile High by Ford or something. It had this ridiculously long and elaborate name, and all anybody in Denver ever called it was Mile High Stadium, because that's all. You know what I mean? It's all it's ever been. It's like Soldier Field in Chicago. You can get naming rights to it. People are just going to call it Soldier Field. All right, let's get over here carefully. And yep, we're going to head down to Pueblo. And now when we get to Pueblo, we may head back to the, what would that be? Back to the west, back toward Grand. And at that point, we would have sort of boxed the state. And we still need to get a few cities in the center. But we would have got all the cities kind of around the outside of the Colorado DLC. And then next ATS stream, we'll go back in and get those last few. But I have been thinking about, oh God, our frame rate is, we've been in like the 90s and above. And right now we're in the 40s. I attribute that to XSplit, but we will figure it out. Yeah, we'll go back to the west. We'll get Colorado DLC kind of boxed in, right? We'll fill in those cities in the center in another stream. But I would really like to fly a little bit today, because we missed the stream yesterday. Now, I was going to take today off. And so what I might do is call the ATS portion of this the makeup stream. And then we will pick up tomorrow with cattle and crops, right? So rather than streaming yesterday and taking today off, I unintentionally took yesterday off with the crashes. And we'll stream today and then hop back into it tomorrow. So instead of doing a double today, just a single, I don't know, man. We'll figure it out. So yeah, I'm really liking this DLC. I like that every DLC seems to look better than the last one. And the only downside I could possibly see to that is the new ones are making the old ones look bad. But I'm not particularly troubled by that. I think they all look pretty good, I have to say. And liking the new trucks. I'm curious if there are going to be any new trucks for ETS. I feel like we're due. We got the MAN not too long ago. But for the most part, new viewpoint, all right? For the most part, I think the trucks on the ETS side are pretty old. They really are. We got the new Scania a couple years ago. Wow, has it been that long? Maybe not a couple years, maybe like a year and a half. And then we got the MAN. But I don't know if there are any other truck brands planned. Brands, I think they've got all the brands covered. There's C-Springs. I think they've got all the brands covered, but maybe models? Maybe some newer models? I don't know. Oh, and we got the Renault T. Yeah, I always forget about that one. We got the Renault T as well. So, yeah, I mean, all right. Let me correct myself a little bit. I guess we are getting some new trucks for ETS. But I'm wondering if there are going to be any more. And as always, wondering what direction this franchise is going to go in. I just don't know. So we passed Colorado Springs, which I believe, yeah, we discovered it, so that is a city. Oh, okay. And we're already in Pueblo. We've only been going about 20 minutes, so yeah, we will definitely head to the west. All right.
Keep left.
Ooh, careful. This truck sounds so good. And I believe, yep, they are sending us off here, so we're going to take a little detour. Of course, you know, we get a detail. Oh my goodness. We get a detour. We get a detour every episode. Interesting. I was just going to hop across the intersection there. Can we? Is this divided all the way down? If we go to the right here, where's that going to send us? Because what I'd like to do. Yep, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go straight here, turn around in this fuel stop, and then come out and make a left and get back on the highway there. See if that works. All right. And what else is going on? I think that's about it. Yep, I think that's about it. Yeah, I'm sort of puzzled by this because our graphics card is only at about 70%. Our RAM is not full. I think it's just because it's rendering the same game on two screens at the same time. So you can't see it. You can only see the one that's going out on stream. But to my right on the other monitor, it's rendering essentially this again. I would say it's like having mirrors turned on. You know, if you turn a lot of extra mirrors on, I just use the one front right mirror. But if you go with a lot of mirrors on your truck, you're rendering a lot of different frames. And let's make left turns. Left turns are always safer. So we'll head down here and get turned around. Well, it's telling us we can just go straight. Yeah, let's go straight. Let's go straight and see where it takes us, because we're a little bit ahead of schedule. I didn't think it would be this quick to get from Fort Collins down to Pueblo. But okay, no worries. We'll just head down here and see where it leads. So yeah, we'll get that sorted out. But that's the only problem that I've seen with XSplit so far. I was even able to import all my OBS settings. So there was a tab, and you just click it, and it brings everything in. So like all my scenes, everything. Brought all that in. So discover that. Beautiful. So it's all working out, and we'll get these last few details sorted, and even getting the second monitor set up. I figured that wouldn't be like a big problem, but it was even more easy than I thought it would be. Essentially, I just plugged it in, and it didn't even split it. As soon as it brought it up, it recognized it as a second monitor, a side monitor. It didn't ask me if I wanted to do a spread. I'm going. We're going to get a ticket, but I got to go. Oh, no ticket. All right. So yeah, everything went really, really smooth. And for a first stream on a new technology, this is going pretty smooth too. Yep, this is really well done. This whole DLC has had a very accurate look to it from when I first hopped in. No complaints. All right. Back here. And for some reason, our truck, it feels like it's working pretty hard, but we're actually going kind of slow. Like, we're only going 45 miles an hour. I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit here. There we go. And the sun in the eyes is done really well. That might sound like kind of a small thing, but you know, when you got sun in your eyes, it's got a how do I want to say this? It does have a kind of a unique feel to it in different places. Oh, easy, sir. Surprising, right around the bend there. All right. Beautiful. And while we're waiting for this light, we'll go third person. Take a look there. Yeah. Very happy with this DLC. Where are we going next? Wyoming? Texas? Kansas? Kansas, I would think they might want to do that as part of a kind of a bulk DLC. I'm not down on Kansas or anything. I don't want to be rude, but there's not a whole lot to see in Kansas. A whole lot of flat. So I'm curious what they would do with that. Right? Maybe release a couple A couple of the sort of heartland farm states, you know, release those all together as one, since there's not a lot of scenery in those. Get some lights on. And if we look over here, yep, seems to be going all right. It's so weird to be able to monitor out of the corner of my eye and see what's going on with the stream, because I've had to guess for so long, for the whole, I don't know, the whole time we've been doing this. I just always had to guess or ask you, right? Like ask if the volume was good or something. It's really weird to be able to see all that. Oh, that's nice. Animated water. There's not a ton of animated water in the sim. Customer expects delivery very soon. I think we're going to be late. Pretty sure we're going to be late. I don't know where we're going, but I feel like we're not even we're not even remotely headed in the direction of Pueblo. We're headed out like out toward Pikes Peak. But this is where the sat-nav sent us, so this is where we go. Right around this way, and I feel like something terrible is about to happen. I feel like we're about to, I don't know, come to some kind of, yeah, dinged up guardrail. I'm concerned. There'd really be no reason to put it in the game, but it would be fun if they had the Pikes Peak Road as an Easter egg or something. That'd be an awfully big Easter egg. I don't know where we're going. This does not feel like we're headed toward Pueblo. And I think we're definitely going to be late. And we don't need to sleep. I mean, we're going to be late anyway. But I don't want to be that late. Oh, a little bit wide. Easy now. Let's just calm down. Looks nice with the sun setting over the mountains. It's a nice effect. Yeah, and there's more whitewater rapids down there. Nice. Sir, what is happening up here? Let's see where we are here. Bunch of springs. I sort of know where I am. Buena Vista. Maybe I don't know where I am. Somewhere down in the, I would say the south central part of the state. I thought we were further east, but we might not be. Okay. So back through, I mean, they're not quite mountains, but it looks like we're getting up there a little bit. All right, let's see where this leads. We're following the sat-nav, so eventually we'll get somewhere. I'm just really curious the route that it's taking us. We'll take a look at the map when we're done and see where it routed us. 285. Yep, I'm really turned around. I don't know exactly where we are right now. 285 runs sort of parallel to I-25 from Wyoming down to the Oklahoma Panhandle. So theoretically, we're moving south parallel to I-25 now, but I don't know why it routed us like so far out of our way. We're definitely going to be late. Right. And I forgot to look when I first opened up the map after I downloaded the DLC. I forgot to look and see if it added any new cities. You know, sometimes the devs will add new cities that are in states that you already own, but they're right up close to the state line with a new state or a new area that you got. Traffic. Beautiful. Story time? Shit. I'm out of stories. I think I told you all my Colorado stories last time. Man, I don't know where we're going. I really don't. I feel like this is going to take us out, hopefully not all the way over by Four Corners. I mean, I know the map needs to be a little bit sort of compressed, you know, distorted a little bit to fit everything in. But I'm just really curious where we are and where we're going. Well, in the meantime, you know what? We're driving a truck. We're driving a truck, and it definitely is a good-looking DLC. Slow down here. Slow way down here. There we go. Just give me a town. Carefully. Easy. Gunnison. Yeah, this is this is like the south central part of the state. So they swung us way out to the west. We should have just gone into that fuel stop, turned around, and got back on I-25. Not a big deal. I think this profile has a couple million on it, so slow down here. So we're not hurting for money. And this is a 1.36, 1.37 profile that I brought forward. So we've got plenty of experience and plenty of trucks and plenty of drivers. On the ATS side, I did start a new profile for 1.39. Didn't really plan to, it just kind of worked out that way. But we were able to bring forward an old profile on the ATS side. All right, here we go. And let's go third person here and take a look. Yep. That's Colorado. Beautiful. I love it. I haven't been able to find a good xenon or LED headlight mod for ATS. I don't know why. That seems to be a mod that, I don't know, it's just, there aren't a lot of people making that mod. And I don't know why. It seems like it would be kind of a simple thing. But apparently not. Slow it way down here. Carefully. Alright. Monte Vista. Yeah, I think we're down by the state line. So we'll go down here a ways and then we'll make a left turn. We'll head back to the east. Unknown. Yep, there's our left turn. Okay. Still good on fuel. We may at some point run into sleep problems, but I think we've got a minute till that happens. Keep left, turn left. You got it.
Turn left.
Yep, there's our sleep warning. Okay. You know what? I always get this wrong. I always push it a little too far. Let's go ahead and pull in here and sleep. I don't think we need fuel. Yeah, we got 3/4 of a tank of fuel. So I don't think we need fuel at all. But let's go ahead and pull in here and sleep. Like we never do. And avoid some of the drama. So, wait, what? What? What just happened? I think I fat-fingered my D-pad. Turned the engine off. All right. So we can pull in right here. Turn those off. We can pull right in here.
Keep right.
Yep, perfect. It just started raining as well. So we'll avoid driving in the dark, and we'll avoid driving in the rain. Perfect. So we pulled right in here. All right. The person. Parking lights. Engine is off. Neutral, set the brake, and let's sleep through the night, see how we look in the morning. Still raining. That's interesting. And then to get out of here, what do we want to do? I think we could probably make a big 180. Yeah, let's do that. So lights on, wipers on. Get out of here this way. It's funny that all the trailers in this parking lot are the new lowboys. Well, they're new to own. I know they've been available for heavy cargo for a minute, but now that they're ownable, I feel like I'm seeing them everywhere. All right, not going to get fuel. We've got plenty. So we'll pull up here. We'll make the left. We'll be on our way. Good over there. Good over there. Here we go. So we ticked a few cities, I think, that we otherwise would not have gone to today. So that's not a bad thing. It's crazy how quickly we got from Fort Collins to... Well, we were just about in Pueblo, and then we ended up taking this big detour off through the center part of the state. Getting to Alamosa. So we'll slow down a little bit here. There's a discovery point back there. You know what? We've got all the trucks we need. We can discover that stuff in our own time. I don't need to go back there right now. Well, I guess the nice thing about XSplit pulling our frame rate down is even with the rain and with lights on, our frame rate is, it's like it's getting so beat up that it's not dropping when it starts raining because it's already so low. All right, I'll sort that out. I'll take a look on Reddit, see if I can find out what the problem is. So 285 is going south here, and we're going straight. Yep. Walsenburg. Not familiar with that town. I'm guessing that is a smaller town. Yeah, the AI is... it's definitely different. I mean, I guess technically that driver had clearance there to pull out in front of us, but I don't remember them doing that quite as often in the past. I feel like they're a lot more aggressive now. Some of the crazy things that the cars do, I wonder if that's not the developers looking for a way to... because one of the things that you hear from real truckers all the time is that drivers in cars, they make you crazy. They do really dumb things around your truck. Just drive you nuts. So I wonder sometimes if the devs aren't trying to make the AI, for lack of a better word, like be annoying or be dumb the way that cars are around big trucks in real life. Alright, so and we want to go over here as soon as possible. Sir. Alright. We're not going over there, we're going over here. Alright. It looked like we were taking a right turn up here, but it's just the road sort of kinking to the right. Trying to let the Raptor in. There he goes. Beautiful. And still good on fuel. Yep, still good on fuel. It's nice to see these little towns put together the way they are. A lot of detail, a lot of scenery. Oh, and there's a garage back there too. All right. I kind of like the garage purchase feature, but once you have enough money, the fact that you can just go into that menu and buy any garage anywhere on the map, it's sort of a, I don't know, it's like a cheese for fast travel. Like if you want to go to a certain part of the map, all the garages are available, you just buy a garage and teleport. Oh, I guess I'm okay with that. Not that big a deal. This is the first time I've seen it rain in-game in, I'd say quite a while. And it's really lasting. Normally when it rains, it's longer than a few minutes, but it's not that long. This feels like it's definitely coming down on us. All right, carefully up through here. And that's maybe the sun coming out a little bit. It seems to be getting a little brighter. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Left lane is... Man, where are we going? We were more or less in Pueblo. And we have just been driving and driving. We're definitely going to be late. But I don't even know where the sat-nav is taking us. Okay. So... Alright, so we're back on the east side of the Continental Divide now. So we must have been, yeah, we were out in the center part of the state. I wonder sometimes if they're not, at some point, going to fill in all these little roads, right? Build little facilities down at the bottom of a lot of these little gravel roads and dirt roads. I know the connectors, I started noticing that back in like 1.27, when they would have highway signs with the black bags over them. I felt like that was their way of letting you know there was going to be DLC to connect to those roads. But I wonder sometimes if they won't, I wouldn't say fill in the entire map, but if you've got a DLC, if you've got the bulk of it built already, that you could go ahead and add in little areas. All right, 160 east, and we're going the right direction. I guess we'll get there at some point. So this... Walsenburg. So we should be... This is the I-25 again. So we're back... Oh, you know what? Maybe we weren't as close to Pueblo as I thought. Yeah, because we had just gone past Colorado Springs. So, okay. Maybe we weren't quite as close to Pueblo. Here we go. I saw the big, on the SCS Soft blog, I saw the big master wish list and all the things that people want. And one of the things that people want, I guess on the ATS and the ETS side, is they want longer trains. They want to wait longer when you have to stop for a train. I guess I'm okay with that. And it was nice to see the other stuff too. And some of it, there were notes after it that said, like, not going to happen. We're not getting this. But a lot of people, I guess, want dirty trucks. And I had heard that we might get the ability to get out of the truck and hook up hoses and thump tires and that sort of thing. But apparently, with the limitations of Prism 3D, that's just not going to happen. right, so this is 25 through here.
Keep right, and then continue straight on.
Okay.
Go straight on. Keep right, and then continue straight on.
Keep right, continue straight. Okay.
Go straight on.
I don't think we're making any money for this delivery because we are so late. But I'm also curious to see how far out onto the prairie we go, and if we're going out to a proper wind farm. Yep, it's starting to look like we're about to get into Kansas. I mean, they did Idaho, and that's sort of in the center, right? And then go north and south of that. I don't know. For me, I would think you would always want to work around the outside, you know, like building a puzzle. But who knows what order they want to do these in. All right, I'm seeing some wind turbines on the horizon. A lot of them. Yep, and I see some cranes over there too. Oh, very cool. I think we are going to be delivering this. Slow down a little bit here. I think we are going to be delivering this turbine part to a wind farm. How cool.
Get ready to turn right.
Get ready to turn right. You got it.
Turn right.
All right. Well, this is what I was hoping for. And this is what we got. Awesome. I love it. Let's go third person. And this is really well done. I like that SCS has these areas, right? And that you're not just taking generic box trailers from one identical yard to another. Very cool. All right, hop back in here so we can look at the map. Yep, a little bit further forward. It looks like, yeah, we'll be able to see our box as we get over the hill here. I hope. Yep, this is very cool. Very well done. And still not seeing it. Whoop. Fat finger. Still not seeing it. It's got to be over here then, I guess. Moment. Are you seeing it? I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is. Okay. I think we can get this thing in there. No problem. Yeah, we'll be able to do that. Oh, perspective. I thought I had a little bit more room. I didn't know I was that close to that embankment. Oh, how embarrassing. Well, you know what? We were going slow. That'll buff out. Just waiting for this thing to jackknife a little bit. And track. There it goes. There it goes. Now, can we get it straightened out in time? Yes. I mean, it's not the prettiest, but we eventually get it in there. And I'm going to have to straighten this out. Yep, fried. I had to. I had to make some pretty serious interventions. I went with a new streaming app, and I went to a 2-monitor setup so we're not tabbing back and forth on a single monitor between the sim and the streaming app. So I've got the streaming app up on another monitor, and then ATS is the only thing on my center monitor. Might have to straighten it out twice. Kind of fighting it a little bit today. Maybe. Maybe we'll straighten it out here. All right. It wasn't pretty, but we got it in there. Now, I'm really curious how late we are. Because we're, you know what I mean? We're pretty late. So, windows down, brake is set, brake is set, third person, engine off. Let's see how we did. Yep, late. All right. Oh, God. 16 hours late. $0. 0 XP. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I suppose we live and learn. Now, if we want to go here, because we did just sleep not too long ago, let me see what other cities we need to... Oh, yeah, Pueblo's all the way up here. So we would have to drive all the way back here if we wanted a job. So if we went to Pueblo, and let's see, I'm trying to use the cursor. What cities do we need here? Durango, Montrose, and Lamar. So let's see if we can get anything going to any of those. Durango, Montrose, Lamar. All right. So then the next best thing would be Kayenta, Moab. I mean, these would technically, I guess, take us through those cities. I don't want to go that far. So Provo. Oh, that's not a bad one. 2 hours. Can we get back to Pueblo in 2 hours? Probably not. Probably not. So let's see some of these other ones. Nope. Wrong way. That's too far out of the way. I don't want to go all the way up into northern Utah. Price. That was not bad. There's another Provo. Vernal. I mean, that one's not bad. We would get 2 cities off our list. Oh, but it's 48 minutes. It's due. Alamosa. And then if we went to Alamosa, is there anything going out of there? To Montrose or Steamboat. And then Sea Springs. Yeah. Yeah, Fried, I started earlier in case I had like significant technical difficulties. I wanted to be sort of, I don't know, have a little bit of extra time to get things sorted. But everything went really smooth right from the jump. It went really, really smooth. Burlington. Ah, okay. Let's do this one next because it'll give us an excuse to get out to Burlington. So we need to drive. We have 16 hours to get back to Sea Springs. It won't take us 16 hours. We have 16 hours to get to Sea Springs. Then we're going to have to drive west of the city, which is this is up toward Pikes Peak, and then we'll pick this up and we'll drive back to Burlington. Now, can we get there in 16 hours? I think we can. I think we can. All right. And to get out of here, we can go that way. Yes, we can. So we'll go here.
Time to hit the road.
Fire up. All right, man. Oh, that's right. You're a tabletop gamer. That's so cool. Thanks for stopping by, Friday. I appreciate it. Very carefully get out of here. Yep, we'll take this trip to Burlington, and that's kind of an out-of-the-way city. We'll get that one crossed off the list. Swing wide this way. I don't know why last ATS episode, I don't know why I was bumping so many things with that trailer. I've done okay with that trailer before. It seemed like, I don't know, something about it. It could have been on the truck. That wouldn't make sense, though. We had it on the Western Star. But the truck that you're pulling with isn't going to determine how often you hook the trailer, is it? I don't know. I just know I was bumping a lot of things. So I went with, we've been using those sort of monster trailers. So I went with something a little bit more manageable this time. But it is still one of the ownable lowboys. Oh, that's cool. You can see the suspension tracking over all the bumps. Very nice. So yeah, we'll get this sort of out-of-the-way city off the list. And then, I mean, if there's anything up that way going to either Sterling or... Sterling is northeasternmost city. And then there's also like a easternmost city. Burlington is sort of eastern central. So yeah, we'll gradually get these knocked out, one at a time. But this was a very cool delivery out here to the wind farm. I like it. And hopefully, well, it might even be this one that we'll pick up at a gold mine, because that's above Sea Springs, up around Pikes Peak. That is a gold mining area. So maybe we'll be... Let's do this quickly so we don't get T-boned. There we go. We may be going up to one of those gold mining areas to pick this tractor up. All right, here we go. And still good on fuel. Yep, still good on fuel. This thing has pretty big tanks on it. And it's got a big motor, but we didn't have a whole lot of weight on with that wind turbine part. So I don't think we used a ton of fuel. And if we do... Yeah, let's see if we pass a place on the interstate on the way up to Colorado Springs. And if we do, we'll fill up there and continue on our way. All right, so frame rate is better now. We're back into the 70s. I mean, I'm reluctant to blame it on the DLC. I've had a pretty good frame rate in most of the DLC so far. But then it was really, really low for the first part of the stream. But it seems to be doing okay now. It's a lot smoother. So we'll see. I'll take a look. You know what? If this is how smooth XSplit is the first day that I use it, I'm impressed. Because I know a lot of apps and a lot of technologies take multiple sessions, you know, to sort of get a handle on it. But if it went this smooth from day one, I am impressed. All right. So right around here. Yeah, chugging a little bit through there, but not too bad. Well, that's interesting. Because our frame rate is better right now, but when I look at stats out of the corner of my eye there, our graphics card usage is at 100%.
Continue straight on.
Huh. All right. Let's get slowed down here. Slowed way down, 25. Okay.
Go straight on.
I like these little small towns. These are really well done. We didn't drive through the center of Grand Junction. And we drove through enough of the town to discover it and tick it off the list.
Right. And then continue
But we didn't drive through the center part of it. Center part of it, it's only a couple blocks long. Straight on here, turn here. Next one, okay. It's only a couple blocks long, but it's got this kind of serpentine feel to it, and there's a big arts program at the university in Grand. So there are bronze sculptures and bronze castings and artwork all over that little downtown area. With the best way I can describe it is it's got like a serpentine thing going on. The road kind of weaves back and forth, and there's art everywhere. It's a very, I don't know. I like stuff like that. I like little small towns, and when you come across unexpected things like that in small towns, always makes me happy. All right, and that is not fuel there. I mean, it looks like fuel, but it's not. It's just a static scenery item.
right.
So, back up this way. Trailer's good. Here we go. And this is a Rabbinicus engine pack, by the way, that I think sounds really, really good. We're just going to dip out in front of that guy. Yep, there goes our frame rate again. Okay, I wonder if it has anything to do with traffic. Agra Vlogs, what is happening? How you doing? Alamosa. Okay, so this would be the turnoff if we wanted to go west back to Walsenburg. Good, good. Glad to hear it. If we wanted to go west back toward Walsenburg, this would be the exit. And then Alamosa. Okay, I'm starting to sort of get my bearings. I got really turned around when we took that detour. And I think even though that delivery was technically to Pueblo in the dispatch, I don't think we went through Pueblo, and I don't think we discovered it yet. No, sir. AI in a, I don't know, would we call this an open world game? Yeah, I guess it's a pretty open world. I mean, I know when you look at the map outside of the game, it's pretty, I don't know, it's a lot of lines, right? Like it's not like we can just go off road from here to another part of the map. Like you're pretty, it's very rigid as far as the areas that it forces you into. So maybe it's not a true open world. But trying to make AI do what it does in a map that is as open as this one has got to be tricky. Now, I'm told, I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm told that the AI has routes. Like every AI vehicle is going from one place to another place. They don't just spawn in, drive a while, and then disappear. So it's possible that if you and an AI are going to the same place, what is this character doing? Sir, if you and an AI are going to the same place, you can drive next to each other for hundreds of miles. All right, so here is Pueblo. All right. Lower speeds, curves ahead, you got it. And we also need to drive down Interstate 76 through Glenwood Canyon down into Grand. See if they have all the... It's a crazy kind of drive because a lot of the interstate is like elevated up above the river. So you're elevated, right? Like you're up in the air, and then simultaneously you're going through tunnels. It's very, very weird. But it's very pretty. It's very scenic. There are also passenger trains go through there as well. And it's probably one of the most scenic areas that you can travel through on a train in the U.S. Probably. Yeah, I'd say probably one of the most scenic areas. Let's get slowed down a little bit here. I really do appreciate the beep reminder that you can turn that on. I use it all the time.
Keep left.
Keep left. Okay. So that's Pueblo. I'm trying to think when we drove through there. I guess yeah, because this is when we made our turn on the way down here. Yeah, that's when we got diverted on the mini-map. Left side, yep. So I guess we did make it to Pueblo, but then that wind farm is quite a bit further south and east. All right. I'm curious if we'll get another detour. I always get at least one per episode. I feel like I get one per trip sometimes. But I'm curious if we'll get a second one in the stream. And I do have them turned down really, really low. I don't know why. I still seem to spawn so many detours. We have to be exiting pretty soon here, I would think. Yeah. If we want to make that turn west. Part of the road toll. Okay. It's a little ominous.
Keep right, and then turn right.
Keep right, turn right. You got it.
Turn right.
This guy, hasn't he been kind of problematic for a minute now?
Keep left.
Keep left. Okay.
Keep left, and then turn left.
Keep left, then turn left. Okay. I think this will make sense as we get further through here, but for now, all I can see is like that little bit right there. I don't know exactly where we're meant to go. Here we go. Turn left. I mean, we sort of can't. But I think we're okay. Yep, this is good. When we get through this light, I'm going to go third person and see if we can see Pikes Peak here. It's sort of easy to spot. I mean, there's mountains. Obviously, there's mountains all over Colorado, but some of the big ones are easy to spot because they're absolutely massive. And even from a distance, you can see like how much bigger they are than the other mountains around them. Yeah, I can't really spot a whole lot right now, but we'll see what we can see as we get further up into the foothills here. Garden of the Gods. Yep. That's a... I don't know how to describe it. It's a state park down near Colorado Springs. It's a lot of very pretty sort of spooky rock formations. And it's a state park, so there was mountain biking there. No mountain biking in national parks, but some state parks have mountain biking. We used to mountain bike down there. Wasn't super technical, but fun and very pretty. Yeah, this feels like it's getting up toward... There you go. I was going to say this looks like we're getting up toward Pikes Peak, and there's the sign for the Pikes Peak Highway. Yeah, it'd be a fun Easter egg, but there's no way I'm going to get a ticket here. No. Beautiful. It would be a fun Easter egg to have the Pikes Peak Road, but there's no way you would ever take a big truck up there. I kind of want to just be away from this truck in front of us. They've been... Yep, let's just do it. They've been a bit of a concern for me for a minute now. All right, so we can slide back over here. Beautiful. So I think by the time we get to the yard and get loaded up, it's probably going to be dark, so we will be doing this trip in the dark, but that's okay, because we made it all the way from Fort Collins down to Pueblo, and then most of that detour we did in daylight, and then we did sleep, I want to say it was about 11 p.m., 10 or 11 p.m., and by the time we woke up, the sun was up again, so we were able to do almost all of that trip in daylight. So if we end up driving a little bit at night, that's not the worst thing. Right. I'm going to quickly... Nope, not going to. I was going to quickly grab some coffee. Ran out of time. All right, here we go. You know what? It's 6:30. It's 18:30. I threw my lights on because I thought it was getting dark, but then it didn't get any darker. All right. Yeah, all of the scenery and all of the areas of the state that I've seen so far, I would say are very accurate, very true to life, and really, really well done. Get ready to turn left. You got it. Yeah, this has got to be... This has got to be some kind of gold mining facility. Whoa! Trying to read the chat and nearly drove us into a bus. Owen, what is happening? How you doing? Now there's that great big copper mine in the Utah DLC. North American Mines and Quarries. So this is going to be a big gold mine. Gold? Copper? I don't know. Take a look in the Wikia. You were entering a blasting area. Oh, please tell me there's an animation for that. That would be fantastic. Slow down a little bit here. 15. All right. Well, I would say I've seen two unique areas of the map now. We saw that wind farm when we delivered our last trip, and now we're seeing one of the mining areas. Discovered a new viewpoint. Fantastic. Oh, okay. Yep, there's a deep pit mine right there. Very nice. You know, when I compare these to the quarry in, well, the first quarry that I saw in ETS was the quarry in Scotland. And I think they're a generic scenery item. So the quarry in Scotland is the same as, you know what I mean? They're all the same. But the first time I drove in there, and to compare that to the way these mines look and the scenery and everything else, SCS, I feel like they just continue to improve the game and improve the way that they create these areas. Good on them, man. All right. Hunter Call of the Wild. I have played it. I've never played it on stream. So we will set the brake here. And I do like the way this truck looks. Let's just take it in for a minute. I'm very happy with this skin on this truck. Yep. It took a minute to get all this done. But I do like the Mac Anthem. I really do. All right, enough. View the job offer. Here we go. Cargo market, and we are taking this tractor to Burlington, and that will take us back. Oh, now, did we discover Denver yet? Maybe we didn't. Maybe we went through the outskirts of Denver, and for that reason, we did not discover it. Okay, so where is this thing now? Over there somewhere. Brake is off. Brake is off. And let's get around to this thing from the other side. I think that's how we get to it. Oh, look at that. Nice. I like the animations. I do. I wouldn't mind seeing an explosion. I mean, we saw a big sign warning that there would be blasting. I wouldn't mind seeing some blasting. But I do like all those little animations. And I know they eat up resources. I know they can beat up your frame rate. And that for a developer, it's always a balance. Right? Like, how realistic do you want to make a game? And what risk are you taking that as you add those things to a game, that you're going to make it unplayable unless somebody's got like an absolute weapon of a system? Yep, Ernie, I absolutely agree with you. I think, if anything, the fact that they've improved their trick bag and they make these new parts of the game look so good, by comparison, I think it makes the older parts of the game look really bad, to the point where I don't necessarily even want to drive in Switzerland and Austria, because to me, they look unrealistic. The ramps are too short. The curves are too tight. You know, it's almost immersion breaking. But I also know for them to fix that, they would essentially need to rebuild the entire first 5 years of the game. There we go. Back to neutral. Set the brake. Windows down. It's going to be dark by the time we get loaded up, so I'm going to put parking lights on for safety. Engine is off. Let's get loaded up, and I'm going to hit my coffee. Beautiful. All right.
Okay, here we go.
And I don't think we have too far to go. And we do have... you know what? I forgot to get fuel. We could have got fuel. Let's throw some beacons on. Now let's get out of here. Here we go. And that takes me back to... When I think about that, that takes me back to the question that is on my mind every time I stream this game, and that is, are they going to rebuild the first parts of the game and keep it going, or would it make more sense to commit those resources to developing the sequel? Or are they going to develop a sequel? You know, I don't know. And this title is really, it's got a very loyal fan base. It is a beloved title. And I feel like it, because it's never been a really gorgeous game to begin with, that people aren't terribly turned off by the fact that the graphics engine is 20 years old and maybe it doesn't look as good as other games that are being released right now. So what? So I feel like they don't need to. It's not Call of Duty. It's not an EA Sports title where the fan base is going to get very angry if they don't freshen up the game and have it absolutely like state of the art. Every 12 months it's got to be tuned up. That's not the ETS ATS crowd. I think they're more concerned about the immersion and the content versus how pretty the game is. Do I prefer ATS or ETS? Honestly, I would say ETS. I think it's the novelty of the trucks because I've grown up seeing and being around American conventional style trucks with the snout, seeing those cab over trucks and seeing the 4x2s and the more compact trucks. To me, I like the novelty of it, and I like the scenery and I like the variety of things that you see and how different it is from Scandinavia down to Italy or from the UK to Poland or Estonia. There's just such a variety of places that you drive through. And I know as the ATS map grows, there is a lot more variety. But regardless of the way the terrain changes in ATS, you're still in the same country. Versus in ETS, as you travel from country to country, everything looks radically different. The terrain looks different, but it's also the signage and the buildings and just everything. The road signs. It's all got a different feel as you travel from country to country. So I would say I prefer ETS, but by a very slim margin, because I really love both the titles.
Turn right.
And this is, if you don't know this is what got me back into gaming. I was away from gaming for years and years. And a friend of mine said there needs to be a Smokey and the Bandit simulator. Right? There needs to be a simulator. It's only got 3 vehicles in it. It's got the Snowman's Kenworth. It's got the sheriff's Pontiac. What was that? Is it a Le Mans? Pontiac Le Mans? And it's got Burt Reynolds' Trans Am. It's got 3 vehicles. That's all. And your only goal is to play as one of those 3 characters. So you can either drive the truck, you can drive the Trans Am, or you can chase them both in the Pontiac. And we were just sitting outside at a restaurant, eating pizza on the patio, drinking a beer, just thinking how funny it would be if there was a Smokey and the Bandit game. So when I got home, I fired up the Google and was trying to find out, is there? I mean, I knew there wasn't, but I was curious if there was anything even close to that. And the first thing I saw was a skin for ATS to skin the Kenworth and a trailer as the Snowman's truck. And that got me intrigued. So then I found Slaptrain, the mighty Slaptrain streamer. YouTuber. Well, he's definitely a YouTuber. I don't know if he streams. But I found his channel, and he's primarily, he drives like rally games. But for some reason, he was driving ATS. And I just watched a bunch of Slaptrain videos and thought, I like this ATS business. And I didn't have a gaming laptop at the time. I had an HP Pavilion, like work laptop, utility laptop with a Radeon graphics card. And I went ahead and got ATS, and it barely played it. I was on potato settings. I was getting like 35 FPS. Not a gaming system by any means. And then I discovered mods, right? And it started to grow and it started to expand. Another friend of mine is works with cranes and heavy equipment, and he said you got to see if there is a crane mod, right? Like a crane cargo. So when I was looking for mods for a crane cargo, I started seeing mods for Farm Simulator, which I had never seen at all. I didn't know anything about Farming Simulator. But I started seeing all these mods and cool equipment. And so I got Farm Simulator. It was 15 at the time, but it was just a couple months before 17 was released. So I got FS 15, and now I had ATS, ETS, and FS 15, and it just took off from there. Let's get slowed down here. Everybody calm down. And it took off, and now I'm, what, 3 systems later, and it just continues to grow. I just keep finding new titles in Steam that I want, and get a wheel, get a flight stick, get a multi-monitor setup now, just get track IR. I just keep adding stuff, but no end in sight, and I'm so glad to be back in gaming at this time. It's a fantastic time for it. I've sort of been on the perimeter. I haven't really been following gaming, but I was a console gamer before. I wasn't on the PC. I was a console gamer, and then I got out of it, but I still knew people that gamed, and if you're at somebody's house and they fire up the PS4 or the Xbox or something, I was still sort of like peripherally aware of what was going on in gaming. And I think for sim gaming in particular, this has got to be the golden age. Yeah, no worries, Owen. I appreciate you stopping by. All right, and we're good through here. Yeah, I don't think we have too far to go. So we're back in Colorado Springs, and I think we're just going a little bit north here. And then we'll make that turn east out onto the prairie again. I think. Oh, easy. I've got the brakes turned almost all the way down, and I've got the trailer stability and truck stability turned way down. I prefer to play that way. I feel like it keeps me on my toes a lot more. Makes me a better trucker. I hope. Taco Kingdom, huh? I feel like the first, I don't know. Well, like everything else that SCS is doing, first few years on the ATS side, I guess I didn't notice it on the ETS side because I don't really know as much. Like, I'm not as familiar with European businesses, but obviously US businesses, I know what's real and what's made up. And I feel like the first couple years, because, you know, they got to make up their own companies, right, for copyright or just to, I don't know, licensing. The first couple years, I feel like the made-up companies were kind of not as good. But lately, the made-up companies, to me, they are, it's very seamless, right? They don't seem as contrived as they used to be. And so when I see these companies or some of the logos or the drugstores, yeah, like, that's 100% legit. If I was driving and I saw Pizza House, I'm not familiar with the brand, but I wouldn't have any question about, like, going in there and grabbing a slice of pie. It looks 100% legit. I love it. So good on them for getting that sorted out. Whatever new methodology they're using, I find it to be a lot more convincing and a lot more immersive. So we'll go over this way. I think we're going to be pushing our luck a little bit, but I think we can get out to. We want to go.
Keep left, and then turn left.
No, we have to turn left here. Okay. It looked like we were meant to go straight a little bit more before we make our turn, and I'm going to stop way back here so I can see the light. If I pull too far forward, my visor occludes it, and we won't be able to see when it's our time to go. All right. Give me a light.
Turn left.
Here we go. really liking the way they're setting up Fmod. So you get that little bit of reverb. Whoa, easy. Where'd that? All right. I was not expecting that. So you get that little bit of slapback reverb when you're going through a little tunnel like that, or when you're passing under something. I like that they've brought Fmod in and implemented it as well as they have.
Keep left.
And I think, yeah, we're coming up on 2 hours. I think we'll just go to Burlington and call it. And man, I don't know if it's the engine mod I'm running. We do have drivetrain revisions going, but it feels like the trucks are accelerating a lot more slowly. We don't have a lot of weight on here, but it's I don't know. It's the opposite of that go-kart acceleration that I find to be really, I don't know, not realistic. And it's never been that bad. But I feel like there may have been some changes in the physics of the game seem to have made it even better. And I'm thinking now we're just going to go up here 1 or 2 exits and then hop off. Yeah, I don't even think we're going all the way. Okay. I didn't think we were going all the way to Denver, but I guess we're passing through it. Okay. And yeah, again, we're not going to be in Denver, so I don't think it's going to be available to us. Detour. Interesting. Imagine that. Nope. Oh, sir, not a detour. Not a detour, just a broken down car. Okay. Well, we're sort of pushing our luck on whether or not we're going to get there before we need to sleep. So the next place we see where we can sleep, I'm going to pull in. I'm curious if they're going to have the Denver Diner. What's this place called? That used to be a hotel. Turtleneck Studios. Interesting. I don't know if that's a real thing or... Whoa. I don't know if that's a real thing or not. That used to be a hotel. And it was vacant for many years. So, let's see what's in there. And what else? The Denver Diner. Yeah, when you go downtown, I'm curious if they will have modeled the Denver Diner over by the convention center. It's kind of a Denver landmark. So here's I-70.
Keep right, and then exit right.
Keep right, exit right. You got it.
Exit right. Keep right.
Keep right. That is a great big dog food plant right there in real life. And then over here on the left should be the stockyards where they have the rodeo. Be right over there, thereabouts. All right. Airport. Yep. Yeah, I think that's meant to be the stockyards right there. Okay. And I don't know if we have cargoes. Yeah, it looks like there's an exit. So we would have cargoes to and from the airport. And it looks like we can sleep up here. Do you want to push it? I mean, it's not that far. Yeah, let's be responsible. Let's be responsible. And we need to get fuel, too. We're on a quarter tank. We could probably make it to the delivery. But let's try to be good truckers. All right. And it looks like this is a truck dealer back here as well. All right. Thought I could sneak through there. Maybe I can. I mean, if nobody else is going, I'll go. Now, this is a little confusing. How do we get in here? Here maybe? Cars and RVs, trucks. There we go. That's what we're looking for. All right. And we did get that discovery point. Beautiful. So let's turn some beacons off. Pull in here and get fuel, and then we'll just pull forward, get some sleep, and get turned around, head out of here, and be on our way to Burlington in the morning. Okay. There we are. Lights off, engine off.
Never mind. I'll find a new route. Okay, let's find a new route.
Sat-nav's going a little bit crazy. Hopefully that gets sorted out. All right. And how do we want to do this? Let's do it this way. Let's just flip around. We'll back it in here. And then tomorrow morning we can just pull straight out to the front. Okay. Man, if I get another fine for not sleeping as we're pulling into the stall, oh, game. All right. Perfect. So, set the brake. Parking lights are on. Windows are down. Let's get some sleep. All right. Beautiful sunny day. Hop back in here. Fire that up. Here we go. And I think we can get out of here if we go to the right of these scales. Yeah. Over this way.
Never mind. I'll find a route.
I think that's the problem. We're right on the line between like a left turn and a right turn. And the sat-nav was just sort of perplexed. Okay. There we go. That's what we want. The left turn, not the right turn.
Go straight on.
All right, good over there. And we're just going to make it good over there. Just going to force it. There we go.
Go straight on. Keep left, and then turn left. Turn left.
All right, that's them. And then I think that's us next. Yep, I think it is. Trying to remember how these lights cycle, although they seem to be cycling the opposite when we were in some of those small towns. Here we go.
Keep right.
So we want now... There we go. We want the right here.
Turn right.
Almost went right through that light. I was so focused on the turn, I kind of spaced that we had a red light. All right. And I think we can right turn on red here. Got the green anyway. All right. Wandering all over the road there. I'm trying, now that I've got this multi-monitor set up, I'm trying to like look around and I keep wandering off the road. And then what was the other one up here? Sterling. You know what I might do is off camera, I might just deadhead up to Sterling, and then we'll get a job going out of Sterling, right? Rather than trying to wait until we get a job going to Sterling. Yeah, so we'll be able to cross it off our list, and then well, I'll take a look at the map. After we get to Burlington, we'll take a look at the map and see what cities we have left out. I don't think we have too many left. 3 or 4. I want to say Durango, Montrose, Denver we got, or did we not get Denver yet? I think we've been driving around Denver, but we haven't technically driven through it yet. So we haven't ticked that one. Okay. We'll find out in a minute. And I also think in this whole stream, I don't think we've had to pull in and be weighed one time.
Keep left.
And there it is. Now, what's that guy going to do back there? All right. The Dodge is letting us go. Oh, God. Going so fast.
Rerouting.
Last stream, I got so excited when we pulled in to get weighed. I stopped, and then I just started rolling again. Forgot to hit the button. I got like a $700 fine. Okay. There we go. All right. And I don't know how many more exits till we get to Burlington. I don't think too many. Because we're nearly in Kansas.
Keep left.
Yeah, I have to think the torque curves for these engines have been recomputed, recalculated somehow, because they feel really... I mean, the trucks accelerate pretty quickly in low gears, but then it does take some time to get wound out to like top speed in higher gears. It feels very, very realistic, and it feels like something that was not necessarily in the game before, because it does seem like it's sort of striking that it does take this long to accelerate, even though we don't have a super big cargo on, like a super heavy cargo. It feels better. I like it. And I don't know if that's base game or if that is from drivetrain revisions, but wherever it's coming from, it's a nice effect. All right. We're going to get this thing all wound up, and just as we do, we'll get a sign for our exit. Little center pivot irrigation. Very nice. Burlington, here we go.
Keep right, and then exit.
Oh, that's nice.
Turn left.
The sign up there is animated, going back and forth for different fuel prices. I don't know if that value is fixed. I know there is a real fuel prices mod you can get. I don't know if that's something the devs have brought into the game for base game yet. All right, this is us. This is perfect. Yep, we're just about at 2 hours exactly.
Go
I love it.
straight on.
I love it. All right. And we did get Burlington.
Get ready to turn left. Turn left.
Oh, turn left here. Okay. Thought it was down a little further.
It was a nice ride.
It was a nice ride. And where's this one going? Interesting. Is it back in the corner there? Can't even see it. There it is. Oh, game. You know, I don't mind these though. I like when they make the drop-offs a little bit more, I don't know, a little trickier. So we're gonna need to, ooh, carefully. We're gonna need to jackknife this thing twice. I think my angle was not the best to start that at, but we might be able to recover this. We can turn our beacons off too. All right, that worked out better than I thought it would. Might need to straighten it out. Yeah, we're going to be a little bit off to this. It'll give it to us, but I never feel good about it. Let's straighten it out. All right, that's better. We'll get this unloaded. We'll take a look at the map and we'll call it. There we go. Neutral. Set the brake. Windows are down. Engine is off. How'd we do? On time. Fantastic. Not a whole lot of money. I mean, 20 grand. Better than the last one. We got nothing. Literally nothing. All right, so here is, so yeah, we do need Sterling. What I can do is drive up this way. Well, I mean, if we had a job going out of Burlington to Sterling, that would be perfect. We need Sterling, Lamar. We did get Denver, and then we need Grand, Montrose, and Durango. Let's see if anything is going to Sterling. It'd be fantastic if it was. Something going to Lamar, but then we'd have to backtrack. So let's try to get Sterling next time. I'll deadhead up there if I have to. Anyway, that's the stream. Thanks, everybody. I do appreciate you, and thanks for sticking with me yesterday. I know that was really a pain in the ass with all those game crashes, but the fact that it was crashing different sims told me that it was not the sims and that it was OBS or something in my system. So we're on XSplit now. Hopefully that sorts everything out, but I appreciate your patience. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out the stream. See you tomorrow. Take care.